going to go ahead and do our potato chip cookies. Everybody's kind of interested in those. It's very, very easy. We're going to, you mix the recipe just according to how the items are listed, the ingredients are listed. It's quite easy. Use a cup of butter, so that's two sticks of butter. I've let mine get a little soft, or margarine, butter or margarine, whichever, whatever you like, whatever's on sale. Now you can use good butter in this, would be wonderful. I stock up on it when it is on sale. I know we had it on sale a couple of weeks ago. A lot of us bought quite a bit of it, the salted and the salted. This is just a regular everyday staple that we buy and we have at home. All right, we're going to start mixing that up. Then we add a half a cup of white sugar. There's nothing fancy in this recipe either. Then we're going to add 1 egg. All right, while that egg is beating, we're going to take a cup and a half of sifted flour. If you don't have a sifter, it's okay. You can still just put the cup and a half of flour in there. I have a sifter at home. I don't here. With this recipe, it really doesn't make a difference, does it? Did you sift yours? It's not that big a deal with this recipe. You're going to add a cup and a half of flour. All right. Now we're going to add a half a cup of chopped nuts. Tonight I'm using the pecan chips. You can eyeball this. The other ones I use quite a bit. All right, then we're going to use a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Let that beat around just a little bit. Then you take another Ziploc bag and finely crush. I didn't get these quite as crushed as I did the first ones. A cup of potato chips. And I just used the Food Club potato chips, and then you have what's left to do with something else. Or you can use potato chips that you've had in the past, that you bought and there's a little bit left in the bag. This is a great way to get rid of that last little bit. Most of us probably has potato chips at home. In my pantry, we have potato chips. So many of them get eaten, and then the rest of them just sit there, and you end up throwing them away. So this is a perfect way, and I still had quite a few left. All right, we're going to beat that around just a minute. Now I parchment lined my paper, my pans. You can also just spray your pans. I was using these earlier. Just spray them just a little bit more. And this, as you can see, this is what the cookies turn out to be when we get through baking them. They're light, they're fluffy, probably the least sweet of anything that we made tonight, because we've made some sweet stuff. Boy, we've made some sweet stuff tonight. All right. And once this mixes, this is what it looks like. It's hard to believe that those items look like this once you take that out. But you can just drop this by the teaspoonsful. You don't have to be, exact. This is another great recipe. That's the kind of recipes I like. You don't have to. And you can always add some other things into it, couldn't you? Yeah, probably. Chips or something else. But this is just a real inexpensive way. I mean, most of these things you have on hand. They're a great thing to cook. You can cook them on a rainy day, even if you want. We've been blessed today with a beautiful sunshiny day. We don't have many sunshiny Mondays, so Now I'm making these a little bit bigger. You can take a teaspoon and take them out. This one I'm just adding a little bit of extra. I've made some of them a little smaller earlier. Then you can take a fork and you can press down on them like you do peanut butter cookies. Or you cannot. I just kind of pressed a little bit. I didn't make the designs. This one don't design quite as well. Her cookies were beautiful when she made them. She brought them to me and she said, now I don't know if you'll like this. And I ate them, and then I told somebody about them, and I come back from lunch, I had them in a Ziploc bag. I come back and I had one cookie left. I'm like, what in the world happened while I was gone to lunch? But yeah, I think so. It's just the nuts, and you don't have to put nuts in here. That just adds to them. What did you think about them, Betty?
Oh, I love
And, well, Betty come in and snuck one when she come in tonight. Yeah. But this is a good little recipe. I told her, I said, I'll make it. I said, once we have a week, we can make it. I've got a lot of recipes, a lot of different people that have came to cooking class have brought me, and so many of them want to do, and I have recipes everywhere, and I stick recipes in books and this, that, and other, and I'll find them, and I'm thinking, well, how long have I had this recipe for? Because everybody's giving me recipes. I love recipes, but I read cookbooks just like people read books. I read a lot of books, but I read cookbooks, and I know if I'm going to like something or not most of the time. But I like to take things like this and turn it into something else. Turn it into something that people don't normally think about. Now this makes quite a few cookies. As you can see, we still got quite a bit in here. I've got to take my other cake out. Let's see if it is ready. And we'll get ready to pop those in. Not quite sure these are quite ready. Maybe just a couple of more minutes. I might leave that another minute or two while we're pressing on these. All right. I like to press down on them a little bit. Not that it gives it that little look that it gives on peanut butter cookies, but it helps smooth your cookie. Well, did everybody have a good Easter? Did everybody have to cook Easter dinner? You weren't? Well, you probably fed a lot of people for Easter dinner.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good dinner. We had a lot of family, and we just hadn't got to see anybody since then. All right, we're going to pop those in the oven in just 1 second. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our salty and candy. Like I said, these are wonderful little light cookies. I think everybody will enjoy those.